Live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pages from Rock Bottom. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kim. And tonight we are joined with Becky. Hey, see, you were worried about it, and I'm losing my train of thought. But tonight we are joined with Becky, a long time friend. I've known her since we were little kids. We were just talking about that creek we used to go back there and swim in. We're gonna go see that sucker this summer. Watch. But we're going to be talking about how she found herself and her journey out of the dark. All right, Becky, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Okay, well, I am from Latham, Ohio. That's where I lived my whole life, and you know that. I got 4 years, 3 months, and 5 days sober.
Woo, woo. Yeah. You go, girl. Okay. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta fix this. So you got 4 months and how many days?
5. I got 4 months. I got 4 years, 3 months, and 5 days clean.
Okay, that's good though. That's good. All right, so you're from Latham. You got over 4 years of sobriety. You done got me all messed up.
Why?
Matt, stop.
Oh, what?
I was like, "Are you good?" He's like, "No." So I'm like, "Okay, all right." So tell us a little bit about like your just a little backstory of your addiction.
Oh goodness.
You don't have to go in depth. Just give us just a little backstory.
Well, I've been on drug. Well, I started, using when I was like maybe 15, 16. I was drinking, started smoking weed. And then, I started hanging around with more people, got into more drugs. And then I got hooked on pain pills. I got on Xanaxes, and I wanted off the pain pills. So I started, doing ice. Well, when I did, I started shooting it.
Yeah.
And that got me hooked.
I just to piggyback off that just for a second, like that was one of my major downfalls was like everybody's like you've never done anything like this until you've shot it. You use a needle, and I'm like, I'm never doing that. And then I'm like you.
Yes. And once that happened, that was it. I wouldn't do it no other way. I just had to have that instant high.
So how hard was it at the very beginning for you to start rebuilding things that you've lost?
It was hard. I didn't think it was impossible until, I went to jail and I went to treatment, and then, having the encouragement, from a lot of support, my counselors and my family. But it was hard to even believe that, I could do it.
Where'd you go to treatment at?
Focus.
You have a really good counselor down there?
Oh, I did. I had amazing people down there.
What was Jackie? Is she a counselor or is she RA?
She was a counselor. Yeah.
I didn't know because I've known Jackie for a long time, and then I seen her on here one day. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
You want to ask?
Hey, Jackie.
Well, it used to be Jackie. I don't want to say her last name, but it's somebody that I met when I was in active addiction.
Yes.
And then she became, she got into recovery, and she's been doing absolutely amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, she sure has. She turned her life completely around.
Yeah. Shout out to Jackie. Good for you, girl. Super, super proud of you. You're definitely an inspiration to people.
So what was the moment you realized you couldn't keep living the life of misery anymore?
Oh, I just didn't want to. I was to the point in my addiction that I wanted to die. I either got help, and I prayed, God, you either take me or, you let me get help. And that happened the very next day. I went to jail, and then I asked for treatment, and I went, and I went on from there.
There's nothing like that feeling, and you probably felt it too, of just wanting to die. You
I
get
did.
that point, like at first it starts off with like, you're doing it just to feel good and numb pain and numb whatever it is that you're going through that you just don't want to face, to the point to where it's like, I'm doing this just so I can die.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was so lost. I mean, I was very lost. I didn't have any purpose. I really didn't. And I just thought that, everybody else would be better off without me.
Yeah.
I remember, so this is like a week before I got my probation violation, and I'm on like a week bender at this point. Um, and I'm doing as much as everything as I can to try to overdose, and that wasn't working. So I I got my belt out, and I was starting to hang myself, and a girl that I was selling to wasn't even supposed to be there. She came in and she found me, and I remember just breaking down on the bathroom floor that day, and I was like, God, just take me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even die right. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, that's total helplessness, hopelessness. And then, I said that prayer, and a week later, I get my probation violation. But I'm still trying to manipulate my way out of it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to make me lose my house, my job. I don't even have a job. But, like, I'm trying everything I can. And
Yeah.
Steph, she was like, Matt, if I let you out, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so I started asking for treatment. They're like, well, we'll give you drug court. And I was like, that's not enough. I said, if you let me out, I'm going to go right back to what I was doing. So they sent me down here. And very first thing I had to do is sign a suicide contract.
I've never had to sign a suicide contract, but man, but I know that feeling. We've all, you know what I mean? I can relate with that. My dog is gonna start going crazy. So what made you say I want better for myself and my kids?
Um, I wanted better because my mom was sick. She was in the hospital, when I was still using, and she was in the hospital and wasn't doing well. And I couldn't help her. I mean, then I went to jail and I went to treatment, and, talking about it. And I wanted better. And then when I went and seen my kids at children's services, because I had to be supervised, that's when, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I want better. I don't want to keep living that life anymore. It's not worth it. I didn't want to be that person no more.
Mm. And sometimes you can get there, but then you'll take it back. You've been there probably 100 times, right?
Oh
You're
God,
like,
yes.
man, yeah,
Every time I
I'm
went,
gonna get better. I'm gonna get better, and then tomorrow you're like, no, I'm gonna wait. I'll try again tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Just one
yeah,
more day.
Yeah.
yes, I did that so many times. I've been to jail so many times, and I would always tell them, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna not gonna do it again. As soon as I get back out, I would do it all over again."
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
insanity of it.
Yeah.
but
Definitely the insanity of it.
I was really done when I asked for treatment. I remember going to court that day, and I asked Todd, I'm like, I want to go to treatment. And he's like, well, we'll see. So I went back to jail. And then my next court date, I came back and they offered, I got treatment. Stacey Owens was there waiting on me.
Oh, shout out to Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah, Stacy's awesome. Um, Another recovery warrior for sure. Boomer, if you don't be quiet, we're going to give you to the neighbor.
And he's up in the windows.
It's on. The neighbors, whatever is out there, the cat, whatever it is, it's in trouble.
Got tree branches moving. Yeah, you don't know.
Corey said, "Proud of you, Becky." All right. Um. What did you fear? What did fear look like back then for you?
What, am I active of addiction or, getting
Both.
sober?
What did? Yeah, in both. Let's just piggyback to. Let's do an active addiction. What did fear look like to you back then?
Death.
So you did fear death when you was in active addiction?
Yeah, I actually, I overdosed one time. And I remember coming to, and my mom and my kids and my grandma, you know, they was out there. I mean, they throwed water on me, and when I came to, I remember them saying, "Stay with me," and that scared me. I mean, because when I just everything was black,
Yeah.
and just I had no hope. I mean, it just, and then I feared, my mom wouldn't have me no more, and then my kids wouldn't have me no more.
Mm. So did you carry that same fear into recovery?
I did, yeah, I did.
Because there's nothing worse than fearing that you're not going to get better, or you're going to fail at it, or it's just going to be another failed attempt at building relationships.
That was a
Yes,
that was
yes.
a major fear for me because I already been to treatment 4 different times.
Yeah.
You know, I was I'm not gonna be able to get this right. But I did everything different than what
It's
I
the
did every
scariest
other
thing.
time.
I could go out and do active addiction all day long, but when it came to facing me in recovery, it was one of the biggest things I feared was me.
Yeah, another one that I feared too is because I knew once I was going to get sober, I had to literally, I mean, I had to face everything that I done. But one good thing, I mean, when I first went to treatment, they put an ankle monitor on me, and they wouldn't take it off either until I went into sober living. I kept asking them. I said, "When am I gonna get this off?" And I remember Stacy telling me, "There's like, well, we asked Todd about it, not Todd, but Travis, and there's like, ah, since she's doing good, we'll just leave it on her on a little longer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had that same that same jewelry, and mine came off. I think it was like 30 days. 30 days after, maybe it was 60. I'm gonna say it was a good solid 60 days. But I really had to prove myself before that came off. You know what I mean?
I had mine on for 90 days. I went to inpatient for 90 days.
Yeah. Did you charge it? I didn't charge mine all the time, but of course they knew right where it was at. So
Oh
I
yeah,
always forget
yeah.
to charge it.
I charged mine.
Yeah. I'd get in like, Travis, I forgot. I forgot to, I told him that a couple of times, but he'd be like, charge it. Just make sure you charge it.
Well, I remember when he first put it on me. He's like, "I'll tell you what." He said, "He's like, I'll tell you the best way to take this off." He's like, he's like, "If you decide you want to," he's like, "you just take a pair of scissors, you cut that off right there." He's like I tell everybody else. I'm like, "I'm not going to do that." I was like, "I don't want to run no more," because I was a runner.
Yeah. Ran
Yeah,
too long. Ran for too long, girl.
I did, and oh my gosh, that was awful. I did not want to run no more. I got tired of looking over my shoulder and always. I mean, it got to the point where I could stand out on my porch and I could hear the cop cars coming. I knew the sound of their tires.
Yeah.
And off the back door I went just to get in it. I had a path made up in the woods, barefooted and all.
Yeah. Man, we were just talking about like escape routes and stuff.
Yeah.
And me and my son Jeremiah were, not he was never been in active addiction or nothing, but we were talking about his uncle having an escape route, and he had cut this um hole out in the floor in the corner of his bedroom in the floor, so that way, like when the cops would come, he would go down in the floor and he had it covered up. He'd cover himself back up and he was underneath the trailer. It worked for a while, but then eventually they caught on, and got his ass. But
Oh,
escape routes are always good. You know what I mean?
but that got so old.
It did. I get it. I get it. I'm going to share this little story because my brother will probably kill me. But Eric, one time, Travis and them was going to kick in the door. I was pregnant, active addiction, crazy, and I knew I wasn't going to jail because I was high risk and they wouldn't put me in jail. But I wouldn't open the door until Travis and them got there and everybody was already hiding. You know what I mean? So we had this couch that kind of sat, a little bit off the floor. You know what I mean? And Eric had me lifted up and he got up in underneath the couch, but Travis and them still found him. It was hilarious. I'll never forget that. Like they flipped the couch over and Eric was up underneath that little.
Well, that's like, that first morning when they came out and they come to get me. I was in my bedroom. I made Amber come in here with me, and I would not answer the doors. I seen them, knocking on it. I was like, Rebecca, we know you're in there. And I stood with my bedroom door closed. I'm like, Amber, don't say a word. Well, I remember the look in her eyes when she looked at me, and the tone of her voice. She's like, Mom. She's like, they know you're in here. She's like, just answer it. And my heart dropped. And
And that was the moment, wasn't it? Was
that
that
was
like the first steps for you to go
yes,
into getting sober?
yes. But when she looked at me and said that, I mean, and I wanted to, but I was also scared because I knew, because my worst fear was, I'm gonna lose my kids, and here my mom is in a hospital. We're gonna lose this place. What do I do? But also at the same time, I was relieved, but I was scared.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those consequences we avoid become a reality, right?
Oh God, yes. And what you fear the most comes up on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Did you have support or were you alone at first?
When at that time I didn't have support. I was afraid to reach out because like I said, I was scared because I didn't want to lose everything. I didn't want. But then when I went and got into treatment, I did have a lot of support. I had, like I said, I had my Uncle Tim and my Aunt Gina. And then I had my dad, but I had amazing sober support. I really did. That pushed me through it. And that gave me so much encouragement.
Amber said, I'm proud of you, Rebecca. You have come a long way. Continue to do good things. You're making a difference.
Aw. Well, thank her. Tell her I said thank you so much.
Keisha said, so very proud of you, Becky. You're amazing.
Aw.
Shout out to Keisha and Amber and Corey for commenting.
So
And
Yeah,
thank you guys for listening.
at this time in your life, did you believe that you deserved a better life?
Ooh.
when I got sober, I did. But then there was times I doubted that, I didn't. But yeah, I did.
What makes you what do you think now, thinking back on that now, what do you think drove you to think that you didn't deserve it?
Um, when I started getting, sober, and the feelings, when I started to feel and all my emotions come back of everything that I did in my past, I mean, though, that's when it would really, hit me that, all the stuff that I did, I just, I didn't feel like that I deserved another chance.
The things that we've done.
Like guilt and shame.
Oh yeah, always.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Gina said, we love you so much. Brooklyn said, I'm so proud of you and I love you. Misty said, we wore we wore our knees out praying for you, Becky. You are one of our biggest answered prayers. We love you too.
Aww.
Oh, see? See? I told you, like, you coming on here and doing this is absolutely amazing. And people, they see you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not only like you, just everything that you've done to get to where you are. You know what I mean? You've done things that people can say, oh my God, she's done this. And you can be proud of that. Girl, I'm proud
I
of you.
am very
I'm proud of
proud.
you.
Yeah. I'm very proud how far I have come because I mean there was times that I doubted it, but I did a lot of praying. I did.
So, what was one of the hardest parts of the earliest days for you in recovery?
When my mom got sick, she was already in the hospital, and then I was in treatment, and we got the call that my mom wasn't doing so good, that they had her, on life support, and I wanted to leave. I did. I remember, talking to my RA and stuff, and, I was just losing it. And she told me, she's like, before you make any irrational decisions, she's like, let me call, one of the counselors to come down to talk to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what made you decide to stay?
they kept telling me that, it is hard right now, but I knew if I left, I would have been right back out. But I wanted to keep on getting better for myself and for my mom. you
Um,
know and and my dad and them doubted me. They literally thought that I wasn't gonna do it. They thought that she's not gonna stick with the job. But I proved them wrong, and I wanted to keep on proving wrong, because I that's when I just wanted to keep on pushing so hard. Even my hardest days, I pushed very, very hard.
I always use people's doubts of me as one of my biggest motivators.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's mine, and that's like, yeah, keep on doubting
Yeah.
me, because I'm gonna prove
I'm
them
going to show
wrong.
you. Watch me do good with myself. How about that?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that, whatever the motivation, as long as it's a positive motivation, you should continue to use it. You're doing amazing. Um, let's see.
So you told us once you got sober, you found purpose, you found peace, and you found yourself.
There you go.
When did you start to feel that light?
Ooh.
it was probably like in my 3 months, of being sober. Um, they were taking us to church, and I mean, just I really, and then Amber, she came one of my um sponsors,
Oh, yeah.
and she was taking me to church with her, and I mean, just getting that feeling of peace again, and just seeing a whole different life, that I prayed for.
What's his name?
I don't know. I,
Aji?
Oh,
Aji?
yeah, yes,
Aji said, super proud of you, Becky, and love you.
I love them.
Aw, she loves you guys too. Um, is the next one we're gonna ask you is about your purpose. What does purpose look like for you now?
I think everybody has a purpose. My purpose is to keep going and keep doing, staying sober. And my purpose is, I just want to show people that recovery is possible, no matter how far you're gone, or know how far in that dark hole tunnel that you're in. There is light, and there is a purpose for everyone. You just got to be willing to.
You have to be willing to find it.
yeah.
I feel like it took me, it took me finding me first before I could find a
Yes,
purpose, because I didn't even, I had no idea who I was. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm here, hello sobriety. Like, now who's this girl? Who are you going to be? Like, am I going to be a kind person? You know what I mean? Like, who am I going to shape myself into? And girl, I couldn't have found a better person, I don't think. Um, Definitely, still have a lot of work to do. I think we all do, even though we've been
yes.
in recovery. It's or something we're gonna do every day for the rest of our lives. But like, finding that purpose is probably next to one of the hardest things I've ever done, honestly, in recovery, is finding out what I wanted to do. I'm still looking, I guess.
Same here.
Okay.
I'm still looking, myself. I still don't know what, God wants me to do, what my calling is, but I know that there is a purpose, and it's going to take a lot of work.
It is.
So for me, like, at least personally, I've come to realize that I just don't have one single purpose, right? Like part of my purpose is to spread this light out of my complete darkness and give people hope and inspiration. But at the same time, I have a purpose of being a husband. I have a purpose of being a father. You know what I mean? I get opportunities in every aspect of my life to make it meaningful enough to be a purpose in my life.
That's good.
Yes, that's
That's
very good.
true. Yeah, but it's true. Like, and I find purpose in food, making food.
Yeah, baby. Junkie to chunky.
But it's the truth. Like, and it's finding that joy in the little things. And he's right, like it doesn't have to be just one purpose. It can be multiple purposes, and it can continue to be a different purpose each time.
Everybody has a different purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
I think sometimes
Yeah.
it depends on the season we're in our life too, right?
Oh yes, most definitely.
So how did peace show up in your life after the chaos?
Ooh,
Ooh, that's a good one.
that's a real good one.
Mm. I mean, after you're so used to all the chaos and the drama that you have grown up with and in your life, and then finally, mm. Tell me yours first, and then I'll go.
Example. So, peace for me after the chaos, show up after the chaos would be 60 days in, I'm going to say this, in jail. And I'm still like, I know Travis and them, they had great intentions. They're like, oh, we're going to leave you in here because you need to, you need to sober up. You need to dry out a little bit. You know what I mean? That's where peace came for me after the chaos, is realizing that it was real, that I actually had an opportunity to make my life better.
Yeah.
I was 32 days in inpatient doing positive affirmations, and when I could finally, it was the very first time I got up in the morning, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I didn't just glimpse at myself, I looked at myself. You know what I mean? And I felt actually a little bit of hope for once.
Yes.
So now your turn.
Mm. I found it when I finally, when I went to sober living, and then I was started drug court, and
Ugh.
that's yes, drug court. I thank God that I went
Thank
through
you,
that.
Jesus. Yes,
Yes,
me too, girl. Me too.
that having that extra accountability, and and just it just kept pushing me forward because I needed the help. I did,
Yeah.
and having that peace inside, just knowing that you can do this, and that because once you're in your sobriety, after you start getting a clear mind, you start thinking different. Things
Yeah,
start
absolutely.
seeing clearly different.
Yeah. So drug court was your piece in the chaos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate with that for sure.
How long did it how long did it take you to be comfortable with peace?
Oh,
Oh,
not even a
yeah.
question on here?
No.
All right,
No,
Matt, you're giving me some hard ones here. We're going really deep,
you're
aren't we?
grounded. You're grounded.
um, Really, I found peace is when I was actually just working and focusing on me.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was in treatment, and I had a counselor tell me this, like, what makes you want to get better, and I was like, for my kids, and there's like, you got to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I was like, I didn't agree with it at first until the longer I was in there. And it's true, because you have to literally focus on you and work on the things that you have dealt with in your life.
Yeah, because if
and
you don't
and
put
and
you first, yeah,
right,
you
and
have to.
yeah, and not keeping staying high just to keep it on them. I mean, it reality really hits you when you get sober.
Yeah. It hits you like a ton of bricks or a Mack truck. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
all that reality that you were running from, you turn around one day and it's like, bam, bam.
Yes.
Then there comes tears. I remember crying for like 6 hours straight because, like, I was, man, it's like, man, I've done lost my kids second time in a row. Like, you know what I mean? I've lost
Yeah.
my home, my job, like, and I've done.
Well, you're just fucking emotional anyways.
Oh,
It didn't even have to be nothing serious. I'd be sitting there watching a show, and like a dog would run across the street. I'm like, fuck.
that's all your reality, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, I was so emotional over everything too, honestly.
Um, but you, but it's good to feel though, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't it
yes,
feel
yes.
good to be able to feel things like that and you to be actually be able to cry and you're like, man, I don't care who's watching me,
After
judge
after a
me,
while, I do where not to let it turn into fucking anger and rage.
rage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to feel these things, and then you get angry at yourself, and not only at yourself, the actual emotion of what you're feeling, because you've not felt that for so long, and then the reality, and like it just becomes your reality. Like your reality just becomes it.
Well, we
It
built
really
up all
does.
we built
And
up
once
all
you,
these defense mechanism and walls, and
Yeah,
it's hard to be vulnerable.
absolutely.
and once you work through all that, and you start feeling and you start talking about it, that's when peace comes in. And when you cry it out, and feel your feelings.
Got feel it to heal it.
For sure.
I used to get being told that. Got feel it to heal it. Bullshit.
But it sounds so cliche, but it's so,
But it's
but
real.
it's so real,
It
you
is.
know. And I used to think like these people are crazy. Like there's no way that this, you know what I mean? Oh, it works it if you work it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And always trust the process.
yeah, there it is. She said it. I was wondering when it was gonna come out. Yes, trust the process, and it's true. Like if anybody's watching who is doubting, like if they're in rehab or they're doubting what's going on in their life, and somebody's truly, if you're an inpatient, like don't doubt that. Trust the process, and trust
Yes,
what they're telling you, because I'm telling you what they're telling you is it's correct.
it
It
is.
does work if you work it.
Another one
Yes,
for me, which I still have to remind myself because I'm an overthinker.
Oh yeah.
It's progress, not perfection. Right? Because
Yeah.
I'm never gonna fucking be perfect, but
No.
it drives me crazy that I'm not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I'm a
I
big
mean,
overthinker. I overthink everything, and I'm still working on that.
how do you work on it though? Like, what do you do to not overthink?
I talk to you, message you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were laughing because he does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I, you reach out, you connect, and you get some feedback, and that's what you should do. Because I'm an overthinker too, but I'm also a problem solver. I love being. I wish I had 10 of me whenever I needed 10 of me. I wish I would have been, you know what I mean? Like, not just 10 of me, but like, I wish I had 10 people like me back when I needed like 10 people like me.
Right, I get it. Yes.
Um, if I would have actually like used all the tools, that Star gave me, um, and all that, then I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? If I would have went to them meetings, or if I would have built
Yeah, just full willingness.
my sober support and that
Yeah.
connection, people don't realize how important that is. But I know
Oh,
today, like I have that, you have that, right?
oh gosh, yes. I have a lot of amazing sober support, and I wouldn't trade any of them.
So what does that look like for you? Do you still do meetings? What is it that you do to keep your recovery intact?
Um, I, I'm not really big on meetings. I like to, I'll call people for prayer. You know what I mean? And just pray for me. And I reach out and talk about, I just reach out. That's what keeps me sober.
Talking about what's going on. And
Yes.
if you release it, it isn't gonna have such a hold on you, because then
It
that's
loses
easy.
power.
Yeah, because it's so easy to hold on to something, and it continue to talk you into doing all the bad things, like your other side's like, hey, let's go do this, hey, let's go do that.
Yeah,
This will
and
make
you
you
lose your
feel
mental
better.
health over it.
Yeah, for sure.
If I keep
Yeah.
something wrong, I'll justify to myself why it's a good decision. You know what I mean?
Even though it's a terrible decision. Terrible. What does giving your kids a better life mean for you today?
Building a relationship, and, and showing them, that I have changed my life, but I had to be, like I said, consistent with it. I mean, I would tell them, but I had to show them
Mm.
that, mom is doing exactly what she said. And I mean, we can actually laugh together. And, I can't go back and change, what I did in the past. I wish I could, but I couldn't. But I am doing it now.
Would you say that your kids have like forgiven you for not being there?
I think at first they didn't. It took a lot of work and it took a lot of showing them. But now, yeah,
Consistency is everything.
yes.
Hey, he made his debut.
Kill him.
Not once, but twice. Boomer.
He's off. He's zoned in.
He's what?
He's zoned in right
He's
now.
zoned in.
Yeah.
he's cute. You seen him, didn't you?
Fight.
What did you rebuild that you are most proud of?
building building relationships with my family, my dad, my
Ooh.
kids, my family. Because
Rebuilding
me and my dad did not have a good relationship at all. And at one time, in my active addiction, I didn't want to until
Yeah.
I got sober, but I had to stay consistent with that and prove to him too that that I was going to stay sober, and it's built a big relationship with him.
I know with me, personally, like I still have family member who's still an active addiction. Can you relate with that?
Yeah.
Same.
Yes.
You said you see my brother, and you're like, is he sober? And I'm like, and I was telling him this, you know what I mean? And I was telling him this. I was like, Becky said she's seen you, and I was like, she asked if you were sober, and I was like, I told her not to my knowledge, you know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to call him out or anything. And he was like, yeah. But I was like, but I don't think you're doing as bad as you used to. But he looks really, really good, uh, it's hard, being in recovery and still having a family member that still uses.
Oh yes, most definitely. And you have to learn how to set boundaries with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Setting boundaries is really, really hard, especially with loved ones.
Mm. How do you do that? I know for me, I have to just not go around them. I'll talk to him on the phone, but I don't go hang out with him. Like if he needs a ride or something, that's as long as he's like, hey, will you take me to, da, 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 da. And I'm like, absolutely not. Now, if you need to go get some food or if you need to go get dropped off somewhere, that's a little different, but I'm not going to take you to do no runs of any sort.
Right.
And I'm not taking you to the store to steal anything. You know what I mean? But but these are the boundaries you have to be blunt like that. Like, so how, besides setting boundaries, like how do you, separate the relationship in a healthy way?
Well, that's like my brother. I can't say that my brother is I don't know if he's doing really good or not. I mean, because he don't hasn't been coming around me, but um, I know when he always needs me, I'm always there for him. But then sometimes you can't always be there when they need you.
Mm, it's true. But it's
Yeah.
one of the hardest things because I know, like, for me, I get scared that I'm going to get that phone call or when I
Yes.
don't hear from him, you know what I mean? For like weeks at a time. But yeah, it's definitely set them boundaries. Um, you have to, because without them, man,
Yeah.
man, you know what I mean? They overrun you and just. So where's your life at today, Becky? Like where what are you doing with your life? Like I know you got a job. Like where do you work?
I work for Scioto Trails Advancing Abilities. I take care of like with some of them, they have disabilities. Like some of them are like MMRD. But I love being able to help. I've always been, like a caregiver. I want to do more with my life. I want to work in recovery. And every time I start it, something always just gets in my road, and then it's like I can't finish it. But that's something that
God's
I
like,
want to
not
do.
yet.
Yes, I want to work in recovery. I want to, I want to show people that there is hope. I mean, you're going to face a lot of, storms in your life. I mean, you're always going to face something, but I mean, you just got to reach out and, help, help. I mean, even if it's just one little word to give them hope.
Does helping other people help you?
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
We can only keep what we have by giving it away.
There's another cliche saying that people's like, oh, that's not true, but it is. I used to
But
preach that
sometimes, right. But when sometimes you get so overwhelmed with work and everything, and then bills starts piling up, and I get overwhelmed, I get stressed out, and then my mental health will go down, and then it's like, I'm helping them, but all the same time I need help myself, and th- it's like you can't pour from an empty cup.
So how do you pull positives from that, like bad situations?
What is it?
How do you pull positives from bad situations?
I reach out and talk about it, and I get advice.
And you pray.
I pray. I am a
She's
big
always like, I'm just gonna give it to God. That's all I can do. Every time you reach out to me, we'll be talking and you're like, all I can do is just give it to God. You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah. You'll
That's
get all the great advice in the world, but then you're like, at the end of it, you're like, all I can do at this point is just give it to God, and God's gonna work it out for me. And you believe that. That's one of the things I love about you, is that you wholeheartedly believe that no matter what, God is gonna find a way for you.
Oh, he definitely does, even if it's in a dream. Just remember that I was telling you not too long
Yep.
ago that dream I had about being on that dark, lonely road. But then all
Yep.
the same time, my mom was in the dream too. But there was all these beautiful things, and then on the other side with my brother, it was dark and lonely, and I was so lost. And then I remember going to the top of this hill, and I ran into this woman. She looked just like my mama,
That's what you
and
said.
yes, and I just looked at her, and this woman looked at me, and she's like, Becky, this isn't you. And in the dream, I just broke down and I cried. And I'm telling you what, my hand, I mean, I can still feel this. It gives me goosebumps to talk about it. But I remember when this woman in my dream praying for me, and I literally felt all this weight, all this heaviness lift up. And that, God works in my life. I mean, and you can only carry so much, but eventually, when you reach out to the right people, and there is still beautiful things in the darkness. You just got to know
Mm.
which way to what path to take and which way to go.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's still beautiful things in the darkness.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that, Becky. That's good.
Yeah.
That is good. I believe that wholeheartedly. That
Yes. You might not, and I feel like too that, I mean, because here I am with it wasn't that, like in using or anything, but it was my mental health that was in a bad place. And
yeah.
that's why I was on that dark, lonely road. But then I knew that there was light also too, and that's what my mom came, was there in it.
Mm.
And so it was like coming to a crossroads. Which road do you take? And I want the light side, because I mean, that dream really messed with my head, because I mean, it was so real. I mean, it was so dark, and it was like, back in that dark hole again, so lost, so lonely. And I don't, I don't ever want to feel like that again.
Emptiness and just that
Yes.
feeling of nothing. Yeah, me neither, girl. Me neither. I don't ever want to go that road either.
No.
Ever. Ever.
And that's like, when I was in my active addiction, I was in that dark hole, and it seemed like no matter how far that, know how hard I tried to just keep climbing and just wanted the light, but it just seemed like the harder I tried, it would just sink me down even further. And I mean, it just kept like it was getting deeper and deeper.
So you feel like you're burying yourself.
Yes, and then when I finally went to jail and I went to treatment, I mean, I started seeing the light. I started seeing things that, yes, it's possible, but you have got to want it, because you just get so sick and tired of that kind of life and feeling like that from the pit of your stomach. So tired.
So up to this point in your recovery, what have you rebuilt that you're the most proud of?
Oh,
Myself.
oh, I knew it. I was, get out of my head, Becky. Yeah, me. Yes, that's a, I would definitely be proud of that too. You should be proud of the person that you're growing into, that you continue to grow into, and the person that you want to become. Like,
Yeah.
I've never seen this side of Becky before, right? You know
Right.
what I mean? I knew you when we were kids, and then I've seen you in active addiction a couple times. You know what I mean? You've seen me in active addiction a couple times, but like, I like this side of Becky. You know what I mean? I like this Becky.
I do too. I really do. And it takes a lot of work and just we all have our bad days, but you just got to push through it. And the person I am today, that's who I always want to be. I mean, yeah, I have my hard days, and but I I I just see I'm more wiser, and I don't want to be in that chaos no more. I want peace in my life. I want to continue to grow, in recovery, and and spiritually. I just want to keep on growing. I just want to be the best version that I could be. And I don't need nothing in life that's going to be distraction and block my blessings. So
Ooh,
yeah, so
nothing that's gonna be a distraction and block my
Okay,
blessing.
get it then, girl.
Come on, Becky, get it, girl. Yeah. If you could go back and tell your past self one thing, or just give your past self a message, what would it be from your
uh,
perspective now?
that I'm proud of her,
Mm.
because I didn't think that she had it in her, and she did.
Oh, and she does. Look at
What
me
Yes.
now.
what would you say?
My past self,
Yeah.
I would say keep running because you're running in the right direction.
Mm.
That's what I would say, because I was always running from something, um, whether it was an ass beating or the person that I hated most, which was me.
Mm.
So I would just say keep running in that same direction because you're running in the right direction.
Yes.
Eventually, you're going to find yourself, that beautiful self that person that you love. You know what I mean? Don't give up.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you say?
Sit down, youngin.
Sit down, youngin.
No,
Sit down.
everything that I thought was the worst of me and I could never move on from ends up being your biggest strength.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
It
good.
takes a lot of strength, doesn't it?
It does. I don't think people really like, the easy part is getting addicted to drugs. The hardest part is getting sober.
Oh my God, yes, most definitely.
I don't care what anybody says. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I've, gave birth natural. I don't know how many times. I've had a C-section, had my ass beat, I've been shot in the leg. You know what I mean? Like, that's the worst thing I've ever had to endure in my life. Like, that was the hardest thing I've ever done, was get
Yes.
sober
And
and
it's
stay
scary.
there.
It's scary at first.
It is.
It really is,
It is.
because you don't want to let yourself down, and you don't want to let everybody else down.
Oh, I was at a point where I already let everyone down. You know what I mean? It was it was at 32 days, man, when I finally looked myself in the mirror and I could actually look at myself. And then I started rebuilding relationships and rebuild bridges that I thought I burnt forever.
Yeah.
And then my mom invites me home for Christmas. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not even welcome there. You know what I mean? And now, shit, I can call them for anything, and they won't hesitate.
That's
And
it. And
it's
that's a
always
good
nice to,
feeling.
yes, having your family, and I'm still trying to rebuild relationships. Like I don't know if me and my sister Vicky will ever have a great relationship. Um, I'm not. Maybe if we both just sat down and set some things aside, or just really discuss some things, maybe.
Hmm.
But I think we both have to be willing to do that.
That's it. Both be willing.
And it can't just be one side be combative and the other side be willing to do it. It has to be both sides to willing to come to the table to make amends with each other. But then it's
That was one of the hardest things I had to learn in recovery was compromise.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. How to be truly selfless.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know it's that can be
I
difficult
still
sometimes.
struggle with it.
Yeah, that can be difficult.
I'm a selfish asshole.
I think we all have been selfish assholes, for probably 30 some years of my life.
30 some?
Yeah,
How many?
We all have.
30s.
I'm gonna say about 36.
Mhm.
It's just like a walk and talk, you know.
Yes.
Um, but I think we all have our demons, and we all have done some terrible things. Becky's done some terrible things. I've
Oh,
done some
yes.
terrible things. Matt's definitely done some terrible things. But it's how we get back up and we decide to move forward, or when we actually decide to help ourselves.
Yes. And we could change, we can't change the past, but we can change the future.
Right. And when you just find that day that you're like, man, I'm actually ready to do this, then that's when the miracles start happening for yourself.
Yes. That's like, before my mom passed away, the last words she said to me, she told me, she's like, I am so proud of you. She's like, promise me. She's like that, you're going to be okay. And I made her that promise. I said, no matter what, Mom, no matter what, I said, I am going to stay sober. And I play that tape over in my head, and that's what even gives me more motivation to stay sober.
Yeah, because she's up there, she's watching you right now,
Yeah.
proud of you. You know what I mean? I know my mom is. They're probably up there watching us together, like, look at them.
Look
You
at
remember
them.
these little shits? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Remember all the hell they put us through? But they're both probably up there right now, just talking to each other, and talking about how proud they are of us. And I know my mom is, and I know your mom is too. So just
Yep.
be proud of the person you are today, Becky. Like you said, times sometimes are can be hard, but it doesn't mean you have to let it define, or what's the words I'm looking for?
Define you.
Dictate your day.
Oh, yeah. That word.
Or your future, or the outcome of something. Because like I've really been battling with that here a lot here lately, of allowing like my emotions and stuff like that, like to dictate what my day is going to be like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. But continue to do what you're doing, girl. Reach out like you're doing. um Ashley said, yay, I found you. Heather said, here to watch you, Becca. Ashley said, so proud of you. Corey said, getting sober is easy. Staying sober is hard. Absolutely, Corey. Absolutely. But if you use all them amazing tools that you
They
learned,
give you.
that you
And
learned in treatment, and reach out to your sober support and all that, you could stay there,
yes, you sure can. It takes a lot. You got to have sober support in your corner.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Mackenzie said, I love you, Becca, or love you, Becky. First she said, I love you, Bucky. And then and then she said, I love you, Becky. Keisha said, that's my friend. Girl, you got all kinds of shout outs. Shout out to Becky for sharing your story. For over 4 years, going on 5. Whoop, whoop. Keep doing what you're doing, girl. I was gonna have a quote, but I don't know what I did with it. I had a quote. I'll just send it to you, I guess.
Send it.
And I had a quote for you, but I usually have a quote. But
Give her one from the heart.
right off the top of my head,
Right off the dome.
I ain't got one.
Go.
No, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm super, super proud of you. I couldn't ask for a better friend, a better person to reach out to me or me reach out to them and say good morning to every morning. You know what I mean? We do
Yeah.
that on TikTok. We're always like, our friend is froze. You know what I mean? Our little friend gets on there and gets froze.
That we
So,
sure do.
yeah, so and let's keep surviving together. You know what I mean? Let's keep working on it together, surviving it together, and let's just keep doing the damn thing together.
Yes, together is the best. And, and giving people hope because recovery is possible. I mean, it don't gotta, it don't gotta be like that. I mean, recovery is possible. You just gotta really want it and stick with it, and you know, keep the people that you do have in your life. And you gotta stay. If you want to stay sober, you have to change the old people, places, and things. I don't care who you are. I don't care what people say. Change them.
Get rid of it. If you don't need
Yes.
them, get rid of them.
Yes, I've had a lot of people like, yeah, well, since you got sober, you just think you're better. No, I
Yeah.
don't think I'm better. I just choose a different life. I choose a different path.
I'm just doing better.
I don't, right. And I don't want to put myself in no high risk situations. And I don't.
No.
I know me.
I know me too.
Yeah.
Yep. And that
Yep.
yeah. It doesn't make you better. You're just doing better. Ashley said she inspired me. That's for sure. I've been clean for 3.5 years. Whoop whoop. Go Ashley. You go, girl. Super proud of you. Shout out to Ashley having 3.5 years. And another shout out to you, Becky. I appreciate you for coming on. And I know you were super, super nervous, but you did absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I'm sure your story has inspired somebody, and it wasn't as bad as you thought, was it?
No, that's why I talked to you guys for like, what, a half hour before I came on.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great. Got you
It
warmed
was.
up. You did amazing. I'm super, super proud of you. And I know everybody that come on here and commented, Corey, Ashley, Heather, Kesha, Keisha, who else? There was a couple more. Your aunt, I believe.
Yeah.
Everybody on here
I
is super,
encourage you
super proud of you.
to kind of look at this as a learning moment, right? Because like I'm an overthinker too, so I thrive on these negative thoughts. But what you just did is proof that when we have the courage to walk through our fears, what's
Ooh,
waiting on the other side is there's no
Yes.
support.
Yes. I love that. That's a good one.
dropped it. It wasn't a mic, but it was a pen.
Pen drop.
There it is. But yeah, you just gave somebody else the courage to want to come and tell their story too. I'm so, so
Good.
proud of you. And Becky found herself again. So can you.
So
That's
can you.
right. Yes.
You did it, Becky. Corey said, way to face them fears. I'm proud of you and love you.
I love everyone. I love every one of you guys. And that's been in my
I love
corner.
everyone. We love you too, girl. And once again, we really, really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful story. And, shout out to our moms in heaven because I know that they're super proud of us today. And shout out to, Matt's dad up in heaven. We know he's super proud of Matt too. So we all got somebody in heaven and something in common there. So let's just keep doing the damn thing and let's keep doing the damn thing together. And everybody
Yes.
listening, if you're struggling, reach out to us. And if you guys want to come on and tell your story, reach out to us.
Struggling or not.
Struggling or not, you don't even have to be struggling to come on and tell your story. If you want to come on and tell your story, reach out to us. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to, get you scheduled and get you guys on here and let you guys talk about your struggles and where you guys are now. So,
And everyone should because it did me some good. I needed this.
oh, there's her meeting. See it?
Yes, I needed it. I really did. I woke up this morning, I was praying like, God, give me calmness, I can do this. And
She
because
goes,
my
she reached out
anxiety
to
was,
me.
I messaged Kim like so many times. I'm like, I'm so nervous. My anxiety's been going through the
I
roof,
was like,
and
you're
it's not.
gonna do great. You're gonna do
Yes,
great.
and
And
it
you
was
did.
so good. I needed it. I really did.
Any final
Yeah.
words to them? Anybody out there?
If if we can do it, anyone can do it.
There it is, guys. And join us Wednesday. We have Matt's brother back on by himself this time. Solo. He's going to be telling his story of 8 years of sobriety. We're going to be sitting down and talking with him this Wednesday from 7 to 8.
Put your boots on.
Alrighty.
It's gonna get deep.
Ashley said I wouldn't. I wanted it myself. Wouldn't change anything. I'm thankful for my healing.
Yeah.
You go, Ashley. We're
Yes.
thankful for your healing too. Maybe you can come on the show and you can share your story with us one day.
Even Keisha. Keisha
And
could come and tell her story too.
Keisha. So if you guys are willing and wanting to, reach out to me.
Yes.
No pressure. No pressure. Keep moving forward, Amber said. All right, guys. Join us Wednesday with Matt's brother, Jeff, and another inspiring story from him. Thank you, Rebecca. We love you, and thank you for sharing your story.
Well, you're very welcome, and I love you guys too. And I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Good. See? I love it. Well,
She'll be ready to host March next year.
she'll be ready to, yes. Woo! Thank you, Heather. We appreciate you. Bye, Becky.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Join us Wednesday.
Wednesday.
With Jeff Overly.
My brother.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
See you guys Wednesday. Bye.